Hi Chris, how are you? Yeah, sorry about that. For some reason, it kicked me out of streaming. Like it said some shit that my stream was revoking or revoked or something. I think, but it's probably because I was smoking at the time. They just didn't want that. Now I don't know what really happened, but probably something like that. Or maybe a game I wasn't supposed to be playing on stream. That's good to hear, Chris. Now, let's get us a teammate hill. Y'all might need to let D and Reed know that the stream had to go to... Oh, there she is. Welcome back, Ree. Yeah, sorry, my stream just went out on me, so I had to start anew. Really, I do watch a shit ton of ads. Way more than I should. Like, whenever there's a chance to watch an ad instead of spending something, I'll do it. Right, it is hard to not take the offer. Wait, there's a generator there. Oh no, it was just letting me know that one was just done. Okay. Wee. Oh, guess I can't watch any more times. Welcome back, D. I mean, they do give you a limit on some of them that I've seen. Oh, hi, I ran into Mr. Killerman. Not nice to meet you. Take him from me. Kill me, you bastards. Thank you, my friends. Oh, God. Oh, shit, I thought he was coming the other way. I was trying to trick him. He must have just been stuck on the stairs trying to come down. Well, shit. Yeah, come on. Thank you. Just let me get this hill off first. Oops, so I can kill you. I healed him with the last of my life. That's amazing. And now I'm free. And I am dead. Oh, that's crazy. Really? They gave me Gary. I know I said I didn't want to spend any gold with him, but fuck it. Oh shit, no, I don't want to use Gary. Okay, so I started moving at the 1 second mark. That's kind of fucked up. Oh shit. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. And I ran right back to her. Cool. Good night, Chris. Love you too. Sleep well. I went to bed early. I fell asleep around 8:30ish apparently. I need a hero. Yeah, I'll talk with you tomorrow, definitely. Well, technically it is tomorrow, but you know what I mean. So apparently, some of these are actually, or the multiplayer is, half of them are usually bots, is what I was reading on the Google Play thing. Yeah, that's what y'all get for not trying to save your boy over here. But the bots will tend not to save anybody. Like if it's a choice between you or the generator, they automatically go for the generator. I can be your hero, baby. I can take away your pain. I can take your breath away. Well, I'm the kind of guy who can't stand the holidays, so I shoot 'em out away. That's me. I don't decorate no trees, and I won't eat no potato lockies, but I'll give this old lady's melons a squeeze. Hey, that's just who I am. Well, I've never spin a dreidel, but I'll always throw an egg, and I'll Charlie horse your legs for laughs. While you're singing your holiday tunes, I'm whipping out my honeymoon. Knowing I'll leave you away. I hate folks who think reindeer are cute. To me, they're just something to shoot. I hate love. I hate you. I hate me. Well, I'm a snowmobile, still in no chance to feel the season kind of guy. This kind of year sucks, so I take my nunchucks and make sure every snowman dies. Believing in Santa's all wrong, and Hanukkah's 8 nights too long. I hate love, I hate you, I hate me. Damn. Oh, that was 8 Crazy Nights, by the way. From 8 Crazy Nights. I'm almost tempted to start running Gary. But I don't know, let's see. 73. So 73. Dexterity's worse. Engineering. Whoa, engineering is almost twice mine. Damn. Medicine, vitality. He's a lot better with healing also. But I think I'm gonna run with him for my speed for now. Here in a bit, I might change to the other game. Because my phone's starting to get low on battery, but with that, I can just read and have it charging instead of having to use both hands on this. I mean, if you're all alright with that. Oh no, back off, back off. So bet's down. Now watch everybody else already be asleep. Except for Ree. She's just gonna be lurking. Did D end up coming? Yeah, he came back after the stream came down. Never mind. Why are you trying to make me say it all again? I was just saying that here in a few I was going to switch over to the other game. And Not the new one, but the RPG one. Oh shit, they got me out and already healing me. Oh god! Instant death! I thought they finished healing me. That'll be my contribution to the team. Drink a half a pot of coffee. I don't know. I'm just kidding. You might want some sleep. Which way is it? Oh god, we're gonna die, aren't we? I'm out. And I made more back than what I spent. Alright, while you're doing that, I'll go ahead and get the other game up and running. But first, I'm gonna change my name. I'm gonna bring my 2 new games out so I know where they're at. Alright, just be safe on your drive. Actually, I need to go check and see if I have a spin on the poker real quick. And I'm gonna lay down. Oh. That was a nice stretch. Yep, free spin. if only this money translated into some real life money, I would be rich. $143,607,000 and some change. I still can't believe how many pages I went through yesterday and still didn't finish the prologue, whatever they called it. It says PRE, but I can't see the rest. I'm guessing prologue. I'm still surprised, though, of how much life I have on here. As the wizard, I didn't have very much. But that makes sense because of his magical abilities and whatnot. I'm just waiting for Sobet to get back before I start reading. So I'm gonna smoke part of a cigarette. I had to fix part of a cigarette that I broke earlier. I had to Mickey Mouse it, as they say. I mean, that's always what I've heard it called, was Mickey Mouse in it. I bet D already fell asleep again, because that's what he did last time on stream. God, it's still like 4 days till Christmas. Ew. And I still got people to buy for. Like everybody in this house. No, it's not Dundee. I was just waiting. I was playing a different game now. Well, more or less just reading a story. How have you not learned how to make coffee so bad? I don't even drink the stuff, but I've made plenty of pots of coffee over the years. Oh, okay. Like, out of the hundreds of pots of coffee I've made, I've probably drank 4 cups, 5 cups. Apparently, people like my coffee because I can make it strong but not overpowering to where it kills people. Just at the edge to where you're about to teeter off. Yeah, hot half pots are a little bit more difficult, but it won't take long to get it. Yeah, my sister got that for Christmas once. I think that's what it was called. But it was like super powerful and it came with like skull spoons. Death Wish. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I couldn't remember what it was. It's been a while since she had gotten it. Probably about 2, 3 years. But I'll be back with you guys here in a minute. I gotta go grab some water. That's the only way to drink coffee is with Coke in it. And I mean the powder, not the soda. Who here remembers the WB cartoons from forever ago? The WB Kids or whatever it was. Nobody? Alright. Guess I'm alone in that one. So Sobet is back for sure now. I wasn't sure if you guys might have left while I was grabbing some water or not. Or if my chat was just fucked up again. Alright, I was curious. I thought so, but I wasn't sure. Alrighty. Bang, bang, bang. Your door shudders under heavy blows from outside. Azazel! Rasps a voice from outside the door. Open the door at once. I have an urgent matter to discuss with you. The fact that anyone would demand an audience with you makes your cheeks flush with anger. Moreover, you couldn't mistake them for anyone else with their wet, harsh whisper voice like broken glass crushed under barefoot. The voice belongs to another of Norell's lieutenants, a half-rotten hag named Rasha. Rasa? Let's go with that. The two of you don't see eye to eye, neither literally nor figuratively, since she's short for a demon and you've been angry since she took your first slave and tortured her to death. She prefers to let her prisoners rot away piece by piece, keeping them alive with agonizing slaves with their bodies decay, while their bodies decay. how much did you put in it? So bad. Around them. Good servants are hard to come by, and loyal ones doubly so. At least loyal by Damon standards. Ever since you only tolerate her existence enough to avoid punishment by your goddess. What kind of scoops did you use, is what I'm saying, like measurement-wise then? Or what size spoon? Like tablespoon, teaspoon, giant tablespoon? Rasa usually moves slower than a one-legged corpse, which also doesn't help her standing with you. Once you got stuck behind her as she shuffled along through one of the smaller passages in the old side of the fortress. You nearly killed her just so you could start moving at a normal pace again. And only a full glass of water? Nah, you done fucked up hard. Nah, if you're only gonna use one good glass of water, you only needed like 2 scoops. And a small ass coffee pot for something like that. You ignore Rasa for the moment as you finish pulling the last of the bottles of dark. There went my water bottle. Good thing it has a lid. I mean, if you're making like a pot, it would have been more understandable. Or close to a pot. Out of the hiding place in the hearth and quietly replace the brick. You drop the dark nectar into a small black leather pouch. Hey, cool. Life increases 3. Mana increases 8. That fucking helps a lot. You hesitate, then take one vial back out of the pouch and drink about half of it. The thick liquid cascades down your throat like syrup, and your body flushes hot and tingles all the way down to the tips of your fingers and toes. Then your muscles relax, and you feel more alert, as though you've just woken up from a blissful slumber. So basically, this dude just straight drank a 5-hour energy drink. Alright, I can wait for you. Since I don't have a shit ton of people watching. Now, if I had like 20 or 30 people actually watching, I'd probably continue reading. I know today I'm helping with wrapping presents around probably sometime around 8 to 9 ish. We'll start. Guess who's back, 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 back again, again, again. Yes, he's back, back, back. Tell a friend. Sobit's back, Sobit's back, Sobit's back. Na na na. Alrighty. What's that face for, Ree? I can't really actually see it too well. You have to fight the urge to finish it off, knowing full well that most demons would be entering a euphoric coma. A content face? Coffee that bad, is it so bad? Or is it just my reading? Hmm. Surprised you're peaceful. Now, do you want to try making coffee again? This time, just put a whole pot on. Just put all the water in there and use the coffee grounds you already used. That way it won't be quite as strong, but since you used as much as you did, it should be perfect for a full pot. Euphoric coma after the amount of high quality dark you just drank. Any more and you'll wind up defensively intoxicated with a considerable amount of regret. You pop the cork back in with your palm and drop the tiny vial back into your bag. Boom, boom, boom! Azazel! You take your time walking over to a chest of drawers near your bed and reach into the back of the second drawer. When you withdraw your hand, your fingers are curled tightly around a tiny vial of shimmering red liquid. You look at the bottle briefly, considering the remarkable amount it had cost you. Its previous owner had called it Dragon's Breath, and you've personally watched a drop of this caustic fluid eat its way through a thick steel breastplate and the original owner beneath it. Then, from a hooked stand near the bed, you retrieve your favorite whip. Ooh, she was kinky with it. Having a whip right by her bed? That's what's up. And consider your options. The most obvious of which is to simply open the door and engage in conversation. Perhaps this way you could learn exactly how long it's been since news of Norell's impending death got out. However, you know that Rasa hates you almost as much as you hate her, and there is a decent likelihood that she is actually here to kill you. You could blast a hole straight through the door with a ray of flame, hoping to catch her off guard before she breaks through your defensive wards. Lastly, there is the slight possibility that it isn't Rasa at all, but rather someone impersonating her. You could project your soul beyond the door to see whether she is who she seems to be. What do? Open the door. No mana. Blast the door. 2 mana. Project your soul. 1 mana. I mean, I'd be alright with having a mirror over the bed. The only downfall is if it breaks, somebody dying if somebody's under it. If not dying, probably at least hurt pretty good. I mean, yeah, that's how it would be with me too. Have her on top. You know, I kinda just wanna blast the door. But that's a good bit of mana. But I have plenty to spare. But there's a lot of chapters in this, and I'm sure I'll need some of it. I mean, she ain't gonna be doing all the work. I'd just rather have her on top. I heard it ain't all that great, so bet. And that sounds like it would be in a Chucky movie, like The Bride of Chucky. What do y'all think? Blast a hole, open the door, or project soul? One for blast. Well, technically two, because I was thinking blast, but it's whatever. Project. Hmm. You know, if I had a coin right now, I'd just flip it. Oh. Fuck it, let's blast it. Let's see. Seizing the initiative. Life is timing, right? You know when to strike when the iron's hot. Plus 1 coin, or 1 point. Plus 2 points, plus 2 luck. You quickly dispel the ward on your door, take a few steps back, and lift a single finger. You concentrate to find your divine connection to Norel. It is noticeably weaker now, but you're still able to draw power from it. You add a little more of your own mana and watch as a large red flame blossoms from your fingertip. As you focus, the flame shrinks and changes colors from red to orange to blue. before condensing into a state that seems to have some solidity to it. You lower your finger to the tip of the to point at the door, and the flame bursts through the wooden door as an explosion of charred splinters of fire. Immediately you hear a furious shriek from within the cloud of smoke, now billowing in the hallway. What's a tough one? A jet of deep black smoke streaks past you and strikes the corner of your bed. The wooden post quickly rots away, crumbling under the weight of the bed as the black smoke settles into an oily residue on the floor. Wait, what am I missing? The fuck y'all talking about? I look up and y'all are talking about paying rent and bills or whatever, or check, and Sobet's over here talking about if she ain't paying half, I want a blowy. I kind of figured y'all were talking about paying for dates after a minute there. I hear an airplane going over. So bad, you cheeky. Well, I used blowy instead of the other word because YouTube probably wouldn't like the other word. I mean, if I'm ever gonna be the only one paying, we definitely only getting some cheap shit from a fast food place then. Well, she's getting some cheap shit. I'll get whatever the fuck I want. When you look back, Rasa is crumbling or clambering through the smoldering door flame. Don't you mean Subway so you can eat fresh at least? So bet. Anyway, black blood slowly oozes from a gaping hole in her stomach that appears to be mostly cauterized. Why the fuck you getting $3 Dr. Pepper? Go to like Dollar General and get a 2 liter for no more than a dollar, like 50, maybe $1.79 after tax, something like that. And if she don't like that, she can buy her own fucking soda. The long, stringy, white remnants of what must have once been her hair fell from a molted scalp. I mean, I'm sure some expensive dates would be nice once you were truly a couple. Like, not just married, I mean, just dating. Like, after a few months or so, surprise her with something special. Make her think that, right, it also depends on the girl. Aw, shit, he gonna get the $5 foot long. Whenever I hear takeout, I think of Chinese or some kind of pizza or something like that. Because that's the only things I really hear is takeout anymore. I mean, that's a good date. So bad. I mean, spending a little money here and there ain't bad, but if they're just trying to get you to always spend money, it's a little different. They're more gold diggery. Right. Because you gotta also try to save up your money. And if you're always going on $100 dates or something like that every, like, time you go out, it's gonna kill you. You wouldn't be able to save anything, you'd be losing. Oh, grab my blanket. Throw it over me. Uh, I still don't know why we brought up the conversation of dates, but at least I know we're talking about it. To cling greasily to the loose gray flesh on her shoulders. Her skeletal frame juts out sharply from beneath an assortment of torn skin, bruises, lesions, and festering sores. Who you thinking is thirsty, D? And welcome back to the stream. Figured your ass was already asleep. And then I was like, I was gonna ask them. Ah, that's funny. Is it actual hydration or just liquid? D. Hell no, so bad. She better be buying you the same exact shit if you're doing that for her. Except for makeup. We'll just take beer instead. Or some kind of alcohol. Nah, if you were having like sex 10 times a day, your ass would be raw. Yeah, I don't really care for a girl having a lot of makeup. I mean, if she wants to put on a little bit, that's all, whatever. I can't stop her of how much she puts on if she buys it herself. That ain't too bad. And her spine looks as though it's about to saw through the skin stretched tight over her hunched back. Her bare... Ew. Her bare breasts hang like knotted rope, dangling near her knees as she lurches forward at you. Oh, that's so gross. I kinda like the black and blue lipsticks, to be honest. The nudes are alright too. And you're gross, Ree. But I bet that's D's kind of woman right there. It's something about the black and blues that are so attractive with collars. In her left hand, Rasa clutches a long Serrated dagger. Yeah, black nail polish is pretty cool. So are some of the crazy shit I've seen with blues and purples. Serrated dagger, made of dark colored bone that seems to drink seems to drink in the very light around it. It's a wicked thing, known to damage the health and soul of every living being it touches, including its wielder. In the past, you had assumed it was Rasa's use of this cursed dagger that made her half rotted. You leap toward the center of the room to avoid her attack, but before you land, she hurls another spell at you. She outstretches her gnarled, bony arms in your direction, and a light mist almost and bleh. I mean, no, but I'll gladly watch it happen. Now, where was I? Fans out from her body. You flap your wings once to drive away the bulk of the mist before it hits you. But a foul smell quickly fills the room and you can already feel your muscles weakening. Oh, so bad. Dear boy. Your skin begins to crack and peel and your eyes burn and struggle to maintain their focus. You uncork the vial of red liquid that you had grabbed earlier, meaning to throw it in her face as she approaches, but Rasa seems content to watch you wither from a safe distance. She no doubt has some kind of spell prepared for a rushed attack. You'll need her to come to you if you're to have any reasonable chance of hitting her with the vial, and I'm dead. And costing her death. She hold you hold your whip in your right hand and the vial in your left. You could either strike at her with your whip in hopes of convincing her that she is at more of a disadvantage at a distance, or you could try baiting her with a long, powerful spell that could render her defenseless. If she rushes forward to interrupt your spell, you can throw the vial then. Better yet, if she allows you to finish it, her death is almost certain. On the other hand, if she strikes from a distance with a spell of her own, you could be caught flat-footed during your conjuring. What do you do? Yeah, see, I've never known anybody to wear the dry ones, the non-smear ones. I feel like they'd probably be super dry. but I feel like they'd all start to dry after a minute. Holy shit, it's already 6:30 in the morning. What do you think it use the whip or bait her with a spell? Yeah, the saggy titty lady. The knotted saggy titty lady. No, it's in hopes to either to try to get her to rush me, or hang on, what did it say? I have my whips. I could use it in the whip. I could use in convincing her that she's at a disadvantage at a distance, or I could use a long, powerful spell that would render her defenseless. If she rushes forward to interrupt your spell, you can throw the vial then. Better yet, if she allows you to finish it, her death is almost certain. On the other hand, if she strikes from a distance with a spell of her own, you could be caught flat-footed during your conjuring. See, now if she was a pretty girl, it'd be whip all day for sure. Or, not rotted. Do you mean flog her down? Whip it. Whip it good. Aw, y'all cost me 2 life. Oh well. With a swipe of your arm, your whip lashes out and cracks against the left side of Ross's neck, gouging her flesh and causing black blood to slowly ooze out of her veins like a warm gel. You know what that reminds me of? The black blood oozing out slowly out of her veins like a warm gel. You remember the squeezies they used to have back in the days? The little candy that they'd have in the bottle that you had to squeeze out that was gel. It came in, I want to say, strawberry and green apple. Maybe cherry. I don't know. But you know what I'm talking about. But whenever I think about those, I also think of the ouchie bubble gum that used to come in the metal tins. That was like the bubble gum. shaped as bandages. Following her body as she recoils from the attack, you snap the whip again. And this time it strikes her face, damaging her right eye. She screams like a shrieking scrag and scrambles backwards, clutching at her face with one hand. She mutters a few hurried words, and your lungs start to burn. You gasp for air as you struggle to breathe, but inhaling the air around you seems like a worse fate than suffocating, searing your insides like a thick chemical smoke. Yeah, she took a shot to the eye. It's alright, I can increase my life or mana later, before this ends. Yeah, I 360 no-scoped her and she didn't even see it coming. Wink, wink. No, she's not. I'm not gonna continue with the choices that would get me killed any further. I'm gonna use as much mana as I can to kill this bitch. Fuck it. Suddenly, Raza is directly in front of you, her serrated dagger poised to pierce up through your diaphragm as you're bent over, gasping for breath. Nearly on reflex, you fling the open vial at her as she takes her last few ungainly steps toward you. Rasa bats the vial away with one arm, but the liquid splashes out and splatters along her face, chest, and arms. You barely dodge her blade by leaping into the air. As you land, Rasa begins screaming. The drops of potion that landed on her head and naked torso have begun to eat holes through her skin and mingle with her blood. Moments later, she begins to soften and collapse, while blood and quite a bit of unsightly gore escapes through the melted holes in her chest. Yeah, it makes me kind of wish I still had all the comics I used to have. Well, manga. Razab's body hits the ground face first with a wet slap. Ew. And her dark blood spreads across the floor beneath her, sizzling against the stone. You could say she was pretty moist. Ew, wet socks are horrible, so bad. It's not even a joke. Fuck wet socks. You slowly begin to catch your breath and the pain subsides. You wonder how much Norel's weakened state affected Rasa. You certainly would have killed would have been killed if she had cast the same spell with the full power of Norel's divine connection behind it. I wouldn't pay anything to drink anything like that. If it's true that Norel's fortress is already under attack, then you need to leave here as soon as possible. The last thing you need is for another, stronger demon to come along and attack you while you're unprepared. However, if you act quickly, you might be able to harvest some mana from Rasa's departed soul. Causing Grasa's soul, or crushing Grasa's soul, would give you considerable amount of strength to face the demons that attempt to prevent your escape, but any spell worth your while would take you a few minutes to prepare. Do you crush her soul, or do you leave immediately? Now, I think I'm going to make a stupid choice here, but I'm going to crush her soul. Holy fuck. 10 mana. You decide it would be wasteful to allow the soul of such a powerful demon to dissipate into the abyss without first taking your due. Not to mention, crushing a soul and harvesting its energy damages the soul itself, which could be helpful if Rasa ever manages to find you and haunt you before her reincarnation. I hope she reincarnates as a Dretch, you think bitterly. I can't see what those emojis are to let you know. You only have a brief window of time before Rasa's soul completely slips away. So you won't be able to use the most effective method of harvesting her energy, just the basics, you tell yourself. You'll need some way to draw runes in her blood. You'd like to be able to draw them on her body as well, but there's very little of it left. A smirk creeps up the edge of your lips as you think that she might actually be easier to look at now. Oh, cool. Rasa's blood is now a caustic black tar, slowly eating its way through her body, through the stone around her. There's no way you're sticking your finger in that. You look around and find the cork to the vial of acid you flung at her. It's small, red, and soft. Now that you think about it, you're not exactly sure what this thing is made of, but it's just about the only thing that can hold up against the erosion of the caustic fluid. You walk back over to Rasa's body, quickly dissolving body, and swirl the small end of the cork in her blood and bile. Then you quickly use it to scratch some runes around her body on the floor in a large circle, taking care to avoid the spreading pool of blood, except to use it like ink for a quill. Why is that like some Full Metal Alchemist shit? When you finish the last rune, you quickly say the phrase to activate the spell to crush what's left of Rasa's soul. You smile despite the mildly putrid feeling that spreads throughout your body. as you siphon energy from her crushed soul. You would have preferred a less repulsive source, but now is not the time to be picky. Even with the damage she suffered from countless years of using her cursed dagger, Rasa's soul is more powerful than most. As you feel the last wisps of her spirit depart, you quickly gather your whip and leave your room. How have you not watched Full Metal Alchemist? Go watch. It's a good anime. There's all kinds of people and all kinds of animals, and the people and animals bond. I mean, that's not the whole basis, but it's about alchemy. It's a little bit dark. But this one girl and this one dog, they're so inseparable. It's cute. No spoilers. But she knows exactly the pair I'm talking about. They are pretty inseparable. Oh. You open the door and step out into the hallway with your whip looped around several times through your hand. Almost immediately after leaving your room, you notice a throng of demons completely blocking the hallway. They're fighting each other, and they seem to be struggling to get into one of the rooms on the right side of the hallway. Ah, you think, the reward room, of course. Norella's dying, losing control over her city and her servants, and all the fools can think about is experiencing some undeserved pleasures, while those with any measure of power likely have more urgent matters to tend to. I mean, I like some Squidbillies so bad. Or more likely, while those with power are killing each other off. Regardless of why, it's going to be difficult to make it through this sea of violent demons. Most of the fighting is petty, just a couple of lesser demons vying for a spot closer to the reward room. But a few larger demons are slowly wading their way through, easily killing the others to get their way. The ceilings are high, but you don't have nearly enough headroom to actually fly over the top of this mob. Joining in the fight wouldn't do too much good either, since demons are flooding in more quickly than you could kill. You try catching the attention of a few of the larger demons in hopes of charming one and using them as your personal battering ram through the crowd, but none of them are paying attention. You even strike one with your whip, but it just turns around and smashes a smaller demon nearby before continuing to wade toward the reward room's entrance. If If you can possess a strong enough demon, you can smash your way out of here. Unfortunately, you would rather not project your soul to possess another body, since that would leave your beautiful body behind, unconscious and helpless to this rabble. Nevertheless, you are beginning to feel desperate. As Narelle's power crumbles, so does your chances of escape. It's time to act. You retreat a bit further to protect your prone body. Sit yourself against the wall and then project your soul. Your body slumps down as your soul separates. You fly toward the massive, short-sighted demons. You don't imagine that any demon that would come to the reward room during a crisis would be particularly intelligent. So you just decide to go for the biggest, meanest looking demon you can find. You settle on a relatively dumb looking humanoid demon with a hulking appearance and a face on both the front and back of its four-horned head. Two pairs of bulky arms protruded from its sides. You easily slip into its mind, and it doesn't even seem to notice that its consciousness is being suppressed. Its attack, it's almost like slipping into an empty shell. This is strange to you, as you haven't had any need to possess something so simple in centuries. Once you get used to the dizzying effect of two sets of eyes facing different directions, you hurry back to your native body. You carefully pick up your winged succubus body, cradling it in your lower set of arms, and crouching down a bit. You take a few steps backwards for good measure, and then begin to run. Slowly at first, but you build up momentum. You nearly lose control and topple forward. Fortunately, your upper arms are raised like a barrier in front of you, and when they connect with the first of the demons in the crowd, they help you offset your top-heavy body. You struggle to keep your footing as you run over the inferior creatures. You're pleased with how easily you can plow through the crowd. You trample at least a dozen unlucky demons before the rest get the idea and begin to press together to get out of your way. You feel some slight prickling sensation as you pass them, but nothing overtly painful. Before you know it, you've broken through the heart of the mob, and the demons are becoming possessively more spaced out by the time you break through completely. The body you're riding feels sluggish and less cooperative. You carefully set your body down and glance at the large demon's form. No real damage seems apparent, but there is a black mark on the side of one of the larger arms, with a deep puncture wound in the middle. Poison, you think. No wonder he was slowing down. Even if the poison doesn't kill the demon you're possessing, he will no longer be of use to you. You worry that your own body might have been damaged. You quickly leave the poison demon's body and settle back into your own. Immediately, you feel the pain along your left side, and you twist to look, only to see a deep scratch left by some sharp-clawed demon that was hopefully trampled. You briefly miss having two pairs of eyes, although it's nice to have your wings back. You kick off of the ground slightly and use your wings to propel you forward as you settle into a sprint toward the central courtyard. As you round the last corner before the courtyard, you hear the muffled sounds of a battle through the stone wall. You stop flapping your wings and let your weight fully settle onto your feet, slowing enough to stop. You press your hand to the stone wall and say an age-old phrase. A clean-cut hole spreads out from your hand, letting in the clamorous din of demons fighting to death, and revealing the courtyard as the hole expands. The courtyard has been thoroughly ruined, with soil upturned and fires everywhere. Now that it was ever, not that it was ever exactly welcoming, but it's nicer than most of the Abyss, including a garden of temptress flowers, which were beautiful so long as you didn't get too close. Now hundreds of demons battle each other in the open space. Smoky shadows flit about between demons on the battlefield, occasionally slipping in through the mouths and nose of invading demons. You look around and see several corpses left by these shadowy projections or protectors. They all have blood trailing from every orifice, a telltale sign of the shadow of the shades attacking unwelcome visitors from inside. You see a few dozen of Norell's guards desperately defending against the invading horde. These guards must not know that Norell is dying, you think to yourself, or more likely they heard but fear her enough to hold their ground. Otherwise, why bother putting up a defense against these invaders? Although some demons do take any excuse they can to fight. The courtyard opens to a massive gate, which now lies in a heap of twisted metal beyond the ruined gate, and the giant demons that destroyed it. Norell City sprawls below. The city is compact, and the buildings rise sharply to make most of the small, moving island, with open bridges connecting many of the structures. Overhead, a roiling mass of winged creatures appear to be patiently waiting to escapes. As you watch as a demon attempting to flee is snagged by one of these creatures and soundlessly disappears into the black mass of flapping wings. So much for flying out of here, you think. Looking at the city beyond, you realize that most of the usual residents are gone, perhaps slain or having already fled. On the outer edges of the city, you see the massive black ropes used by Norell's undead legion to drag the city along throughout the Abyss. The ropes have gone slack, and you can see the undead forms of countless forgotten creatures climbing up and spilling into Norell City. The undead now roam the streets free to slaughter everything in their path. Your skin prickles and your muscles tense again with the feeling of being watched. You bare your fangs and try to determine the source. Suddenly, you're distracted again, this time by a low voice. Norell is dead, booms a voice's booms the voice, penetrating directly into your mind. She has fallen in a distant world, her soul destroyed, never to return to the abyss. Flee or perish, fighting for your dead goddess. Using your intuition to locate the voice, you quickly hone in on a massive blob of soft tissue dragging itself through the courtyard with innumerable hooked spines undulating beneath its mass. A thick gray liquid drips in long strings from the exposed hooks to the torn up ground. No quarter shall be given those who resist, says the blob demon. Your soul shall be crushed and tossed into the inhabit, the lowest Durbnid, whatever. A few soldiers break rank and flee. The remaining demonic guards continue to fight, yet they are now giving ground. You look more closely and see that the combatants on both sides are giving the gray blob an unusually wide berth. You assume it's using the same mind projection on them. Either way, it's having an obvious effect on the guards. You know you will be overrun once Norell's guards break ranks, so you'll need to make the most of your time. The easiest way to boost the guards' morale would be to provide them with Norell's existence. You could do this by joining the fight and showing them Norell's power still flows within you. A less costly route would be to simply rally the guards using your status as Norell's lieutenant to return their fighting spirit. Finally, you could choose to leave the battlefield now while you still can. The front gate is blocked by powerful demons, but you're certain that if you enter the older halls of the fortress on the opposite side of the courtyard, you can find another way out. What do you do? Fuck this, let's just get out of here. Oh, my elbow popped. You remember there's a hidden portal on the older side of the fortress that will allow you to teleport yourself to safety. The most important thing is for you to get out of here as quickly as possible. All of Norell's loyal followers will die here, without exception. You prepare yourself mentally and then launch out of the hole in the wall. You soar above the battlefield among a significantly smaller number of demons engaged in aerial combat. You narrowly dodge a stray spell of green light, then plunge back down toward the wall that will lead you to the older halls of the fortress. You hurriedly land and press your hand against the stone wall, practically shouting the keyword to open the wall. The hole in the wall grows more slowly than usual, enough so that you wonder just how integrated Norell's power truly is with this fortress and with her city. You scramble through before the portal is finished opening and begin sprinting down a series of narrow, winding hallways. You stop at a large map carved into an entire wall. This wall could be used to teleport into the infinite stairway, a strange dimension that connects all worlds. That is, if it had not already been thoroughly destroyed. You mutter the activation spell just in case, but to no avail. You wouldn't have to rely on a tool like this to teleport if Norel's power didn't forcefully prevent any attempts to teleport within her domain. You curse under your breath, although Norel is still protecting her domain from a horde of powerful demons simply teleporting into and throughout her city. That same protection has hamstrung you. You can't even summon your favorite protector, the Jackal, until Norel dies and her protection ends. At that point, it will be too late. You quickly continue on, determining to find a different way out. But it seems that word is spreading faster than the combat, and the demons in these older corridors are beginning to look at you somewhat differently. They aren't openly hostile, but their eyes show neither the fear nor admiration you've became accustomed to. Their insolent looks are getting under your skin, but for the moment, the evident charms inherent to you as a succubus seem to be enough to keep them from acting against you. Without Norel to protect you, you'll be vulnerable, extremely vulnerable in comparison to how you are now. And you will need... Yeah, I kinda like it. I like it better than the Wizard so far. And this is just the prologue, whatever they want to call it. And you will need some way to protect yourself. You glance down at your web. Now that your escape route has been cut off, you would benefit from being better armed. You could briefly stop by Norel's treasure room, where she hoarded gifts from her most loyal and pleasing servants, or you could pass it by in the interest of leaving as soon as possible. What do you do? Keep running, check the treasure room. I'm gonna check the treasure room. You turn down another few halls before you hear the sounds of another battle. A horde of demons are fighting tooth and nail when you arrive at the open room in front of Norel's destroyed vault, each of them trying to scavenge whatever they could from the goddess's treasure room. More demons are constantly filtering in from numerous hallways. Hundreds of bodies litter the ground, many of them hacked into pieces. In the center, a particularly vicious-looking demon is cleaving would-be looters in half with nearly every swing of his giant red-edged blade. I think I've seen him before, you think. Was he one of the guards of the vault? If so, it's incredible that he's still alive amid all this chaos. Alright, have a good day, Sobet. And I'll try. I probably may not stay on for too much longer. I'll probably just finish this one and call it a stream. Like this page. Although it's even more amazing that he's still here defending the treasure at all. Wait, are most of these corpses his doing? You wonder incredulously. As you look at the bodies more closely, he doesn't even look injured. You decide not to try your luck, at least not for a treasure room that's probably already been looted. Unfortunately, still more demons are pushing from behind you. You struggle to your shoulder past them, cursing yourself for your greed. One of them swipes you with its serrated tail, tearing a long gash down your leg as you break free from the newcomers. Alright, well, I'm gonna call it a stream. Thanks for coming by, y'all. Oh shit, D's still here. I was just curious at how many people were actually still here. Alright. Well, good night, D. Have a good one.